That's something that doesn't get talked about often enough, is how to build rounds. So if you have 4 cocktails to make and they're all different styles, like some are shaken, some are stirred, some are built, which ones to do in order, like which ingredients to pour first, when to finish the technique, is something that would make every bartender much faster and make all the cocktails come out much better. And I think it's something that that a lot of bartenders actually lack.
Hey guys, this is Sid Patel, CEO of Bartender Spirits Awards and Beverage Network. We are live at the 6th edition of Bartender Spirits Awards in Chicago. I'm here with one of the leading personalities of US, Renato. And Renato Tonelli is America's #1 bartender in 2023, right? So we're going to chat about, something for young bartenders to learn from him and how he inspires himself, what are the challenges, he also faces and how he overcomes them, and some career tips out there on how you can win in other bartending competitions. So Renato, thanks for joining us here.
Thanks for having me.
Super. Let's start with your personal journey, right? Like, how did you get started in bartending and what inspired you?
So I started bartending when I was in university. I am originally from New York City, but I moved to Rome for university, and I just needed to make an extra dime, a little money, while I was studying. So I bartended in a couple of places, initially for free. I offered some places to just hire me, kind of like
because you wanted to go in those right bars and learn from the right person, or just?
No, just because I had no experience.
There was no strategy to it.
I had no idea how to get in there. So
Understood.
I asked, I can work for free, and just for 2 weeks, and then if you like me, then you can start paying me, a little salary, and then as I move on, maybe a little bit more. I said, for sure, yeah. So I got into that. I bartended. I loved it. And then I had also a passion for travel, so I wanted to travel and bring my craft around the world. I knew that bartending could help me support my lifestyle in different countries. So I moved to Belgium. I moved back to New York. I lived in Australia a little while. And as I traveled and supported myself with this job, I realized that it was such a nice creative outlet, because depending on where you live and where you move, there's so many different ingredients and cultures and different styles of cocktails that you can play with. So I knew that the more I traveled, the better I can get also, and just kind of went hand in hand, travel and career growth.
Understood. And at what time this became serious? Like, obviously initially it sounds that you were just doing a more of a casual way, and travel was your main primary function, not the bartending. You were just going in towns and enjoying life and doing bartending, right?
Yeah.
But at what point you realize, I think I can be very good at this and it can be my career?
So it happened when I graduated from university in Rome, and I said to myself, let me use my degree. Let me try to use my degree. Let me step away from bartending. And I did that while I was in Brussels. I worked in kind of international affairs and policies and politics. I did a little internship, and I did not like it very much. And something was missing, and I realized, I really miss it when I was bartending. I was a lot happier. I really enjoyed it more.
Good point.
Why don't I go back to that? Yeah. But instead of just going back to it like I used to support myself, why don't I get serious about it? Why don't I start reading books? Why don't I start studying about it? Why don't I just go all in on it? And then that's how it all kind of started and became something bigger.
And let's go on some strategic moves you may have done in your career, like working under the right mentor or finding the right famous bartender or a good bartender to learn from. Maybe some people are very good but are not famous, but some people are famous. Maybe what were the different things you were picking up from people wise?
Yeah, so there's so many different avenues you can take. You could work in a really nice place with some really important figures and kind of shadow them, or you can do kind of what my route was, like do a competition, and they kind of come towards you, they kind of gather towards you. So I didn't really have any mentors for a very long time. I'm 15 years in my career, and I'd say for the first 10 years I didn't have any mentors. I just was learning
self-learning.
Learning from books. The books were my mentors. The people online on YouTube were my mentors. But then once I did a few competitions, some of the judges, and spoke with some of the judges, then it kind of created some connections, and some people exchanged phone numbers, and I can ask them questions, and little by little
Sort of serendipity started coming in.
Yeah.
You were at the right place at the right time, and obviously you're trying to win trophies during the competitions. And
yeah, so that was my way. That's helpful. But I know a lot of people that haven't done any competitions, but they have mentors.
Understood.
Because maybe they work at a really well-known bar or something. But
got it. So
that's the great thing, is that there's avenues.
Let's take this route, right? Like I think, which is also one of the clean ways people can prove their skills and grow. What are the 3 or 4 competitions in bartending, especially in US, and maybe 1 or 2 you can name around the world that you can challenge? You can say to the young bartenders that try this, you know, it has the width, it has the depth, or why you selected those?
Like a certain type of a competition
Well, that you would recommend the community to try.
I mean, definitely the one that I did. USBG presents World Class, sponsored by Diageo. That would be it's regarded as the ultimate competition globally, you know, not just in the US, but globally, because it tests every facet of you as a bartender. So it's one of the only competitions where it'll test your skills, your creativity, your speed. You have speed rounds, your flavor pairing with cocktails, your on-the-fly mystery challenges. So that one is really good. A lot of people are scared of it because they know, they say to themselves, I'll do the other ones first, and then I'll do that one, kind of as like a final boss.
Yeah. You can only apply once, or?
No, you can apply as many times as you want. So I would advise the other way around. I would say, yeah, you do the other ones as well, but that one is also, you don't need to be ready to do that. That's one that a lot of people, they don't win it the first time, or you know, they don't
qualify or
understand it the first time. You know, you have to kind of trip up and fail, and then get yourself back up and dust yourself off, and then try it again. You know, and it'll really help you in your growth in your career and as a bartender in general.
Got it. I'm sure it has helped you. We'll touch base on some examples how the opportunities knocked your door. But apart from that, like let's go on the challenges as well, right? Like. You know, I'm sure you must be studying and working together. Throw me 3 or 4 important parts of your life where, you know, there was a moment where you were in self-doubt, or maybe some challenge, or you failed in an exam and it demotivated you. You know, how do you normally, what's your process there?
One of the big recent ones was during the coronavirus, for sure. Kind of not having options to go to bars and restaurants and work in the places that you wanted to work. So having a limited availability, and yeah, there's some examples of, you know, some fallouts or whatnot, and not having something for a long time. But there was maybe, now that I'm thinking about it, there was a time, it was during when I was doing the big competition in World Class, where I didn't have a job, right? It was in the middle of it, so I didn't have access to maybe spirits or products, so I couldn't do, I didn't have the tools as available to me to compete. And also, yeah, it was tough, but, you know, during tough times, you just have to kind of stay persistent, stay determined, stay rooted, which is hard at times, you know, because you start thinking of different things. What should I do? Maybe I'll go this route, I'll go that route. But the most important thing is to stay grounded and know that it doesn't last forever. You know, the bad times don't last forever, and neither do the good times. So it's just a riding wave. So you just say to yourself, this too shall pass. And opportunities are just right around the corner.
True. Let's give the young bartenders also some resources, like any podcast, any names that pop in your mind, or any books, 3 or 4 must-read books, you know, if you're just starting out.
Yeah, that's a good question. There's a lot of books. I would just get my hand on anything, anything and everything. For books, I would definitely recommend Liquid Intelligence by Dave Arnold. That's definitely for more advanced bartenders and advanced techniques, but as a book that has pretty much everything you need to create, because it's not a recipe book, it's a technique book, and bartenders need to learn techniques. I would also recommend, one of my favorites is The Drunken Botanist. So it teaches you a lot about, by Amy Stewart, teaches a lot about the spirits and what they're made of and where they come from and how they're produced, and the botanicals that are behind everything, which is really important for bartenders to know. And there's a recent book that I forget the author's name, but it's called Round Building. And I think that's something that doesn't get talked about often enough, is how to build rounds. So if you have 4 cocktails to make, and they're all different styles, like some are shaken, some are stirred, some are built, which ones to do in order, like which ingredients to pour first, when to finish the technique. It's something that would make every bartender much faster and make all the cocktails come out much better. And I think it's something that that a lot of bartenders actually lack, because they know the knowledge and they know the technique and they're learning all these things, but they're not learning how to like bang it out and
I think
execute
speed is in on a Saturday night or Friday night.
Yeah, especially for difficult cocktails that are difficult to make.
True.
With a lot of pours or whatnot. YouTube, there's a lot of resources. Shuffle on the Rocks and
Shuffle on the Rocks.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, and Kevin Koss. It's Cocktail Time. Really, really great stuff out there.
Do you produce anything? Do you write, or is there a blog or anything?
I used to have. I still do. I have my blog, Sustainable Bartender, which I need to kind of revamp a little bit because I got into the competing world and now I work at Dante, so I've been very busy in those realms. But Sustainable Bartender was a blog mostly written about all these recipes of your leftovers and your scraps, like mint stems or strawberry leaves or avocado rinds, banana peels, and how to use them and how to use them in your cocktail program. And it gained a little bit of popularity. It had a good ride, but then I got a little sidetracked, and I hope to go back to that because I think that it's something that a lot of people are interested in, and something that we need in our industry is to be a little bit more eco-friendly.
Very nice, great. Yeah. Anything else you would want to
add? Just to all the bartenders out there, treat it as a craft. It's not just a job. If you're truly passionate about it, a craft is a skill, right? A skill that you can develop over time. So always try to be 1% better every day, a little bit better every day. Be present. Work hard, but don't fall easy into the traps of our industry. Late night out. Of course, we work with spirits, so try to be as healthy as possible. Try to meditate, work out, get plenty of sleep, because it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. It's the long game for sure.